Hello, my name is Derek Penley and I'm the principal here at Gregori High School. I am so excited to welcome all the new students and parents to Gregori. We're so excited that you're going to be a JAG. This video is important information for new students and parents. It's a bare basics about Gregori, as well as what to expect during CLAW and the first day of school. All the staff here is very excited to welcome all the new students and to start another great school year. So with that, we're going to jump right into the video. I'm going to introduce you to Assistant Principal Brandon Fromm, who's going to cover that important information, and I will see you at the end of the video. So Mr. Fromm, take it away.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Penley, for that introduction. My name is Brandon Fromm. I'm an assistant principal at Gregori High School, and it's my privilege to give you a little information tonight about our outstanding school. We're excited for your freshmen to come in and be on campus this year at Gregori High. And if you have a new student coming in, we're excited to welcome them as well. And we're just looking forward to this year and getting back to normal. And tonight we'd like to give you some information. If the information tonight leads into questions, please ask them at CLAW tomorrow. And if you can't ask then, or you ask or see this at a later date, please call the school and we can help you. So first, who is Joseph A. Gregori? Joseph Gregori was a man who had a huge impact on the community of Modesto. And he did that through teaching, through coaching, and in administration in Modesto City Schools as the principal at both Downey and Bayer High School. Mr. Gregori was known for his character, and some character traits that often come up when people speak about Mr. Gregori are achievement, loyalty, and integrity. And those are the character traits that we really emphasize at Gregori to model those traits after the traits that were commonly found in Mr. Gregori and help equip students to be good citizens. Mr. Gregori did pass away suddenly at the age of 50 on March 9th of 1998. And as a result, the Modesto City School Boards decreed that the new high school that was being built at the time would be named after him. And the community had an outpouring of support to name the school site after him. It's hard to find someone who's been around Modesto a long time that hasn't had an impact on their life from Mr. Gregori, or someone close to them have an impact. And achievement, loyalty, and integrity are those three traits that when people were writing letters to the school district explaining why Mr. Gregori should be the name of the school, those were the traits that came up. His wife, Lori, son, Jeff, and daughter, Jill, are all present on the groundbreaking of the high school, the first graduation, and continue to be a part of the school site. So we're excited about that. A quote that Mr. Gregori used to always say was this: "I never expect more of you than I do of myself, but I got to tell you, I expect a lot of myself." And that is just a quote that we talk with the kids about a lot here at Gregori. Your students are going to get to know that quickly. We have very high expectations of our students. We expect them to expect a lot of themselves, just as Mr. Gregori did. And your students will know that quote inside and out and live it. So parent involvement in the school site. It's important that we have parents supportive and involved in everything we do on site. So if you'd like to be involved at Gregori High and you're not sure how, please call the school or look at a couple of these clubs that you can help support, or call the school site. We would love to have parent support. It's a team effort, and we can't do it without awesome parents supporting us along the way and supporting students. Before we get into too much more, I do want to talk about the COVID updates. Protocols change quickly. So this, at this point in time, is what's in place and what's in place for the first day of school. We'll go over this in more detail with your students, but the umbrella that we're going to be working under is that masks are required by students and staff at all times while indoors. Again, masks are required, all students, all staff, while indoors at all times, regardless of vaccination status. When staff and students are outside of buildings, masks are optional. They do not need to be worn. But again, while indoors, masks have to be on at all times, regardless of vaccination status, by both students and staff. So communication, we're constantly trying to communicate and get information out to families, and these are a common variety of means we use. We post a Schoology often for students. Parents have a Schoology access they can get to as well. We're constantly updating our Facebook page and our website. Any dialers we send out, we also send out an email with, so please make sure your phone number and your email are correct with the school site, and checking the school marquee as you pull in. But if you're following our Facebook page, if you have a parent Schoology account and you're checking the website, getting those dialers, you'll definitely be in communication in the loop of what's going on at Gregori High School. So freshman year, again, we're excited to welcome your freshmen. Freshman year is huge to set up the success of the 4 years that your students are going to have at Gregori High School. This is the foundation. Every class is critical to pass. If a student does not pass a class, they will need to retake it for graduation. Your students need 230 credits to graduate, and your counselor will go over this with your students in particular. There is a Modesto City Schools graduation requirement with that 230, and we offer A to G courses for all of the UCs and CSUs. So again, your counselors will go over it with your students in more detail, but just really want to harp on the fact that the freshman year sets the tone for the next 4 years at Gregori High School. So please communicate with us or your counselor and your teachers if there's any questions or concerns immediately, so we can address those and help keep your student on track. At Gregori, we are on a modified block schedule, and what that means is your kids will attend 3 classes a day. Monday is a blue block, and on blue days, it's a 1-3-7. So your students will attend first period, third period, and seventh, and then 0 and 8, as you can see, if they opt to take a course 0 or 8. Tuesdays is a gold block, which is 2-4-6. Wednesdays, the majority of our Wednesdays are collaboration days. You can find this document on the website. But minimum days, your students will attend all of their classes. So majority of the days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, they'll be attending 3 classes unless they have a 0 or 8. And then again, Wednesdays, they'll attend every class. And again, the best thing that your student can do to be successful their freshman year at Gregori High School is to be here. Our attendance is number 1, and we like to keep it that way. We want to engage with your students. We want to support your students. And the only way we can do that is if they're here. And we are on a block schedule, which means our periods are much longer. So every day that your student misses at a traditional school site, it'd be like missing 2 periods because our courses are so long and our block schedule is so long. So please, please, please reach out if your student isn't going to be here. Let the office staff know and communicate with your teachers. They are responsible for work. And so one great tool that your students, can do is reach out to teachers, let them know in advance when they're going to be absent to help get that work and be kept in the loop so they don't fall behind in their class. The MCS conduct code, you'll get a conduct code to your student at the beginning of the year. Please review that with your student. It goes over a lot of the ed code, a lot of the rules on campus, what's expected at Modesto City Schools, dress code, all of that kind of stuff. So please go over that with your students. It goes over the eligibility requirements and so on. There is a page in there that you'll tear out, and we'll send out more information about signing and returning to the school site. But more information will come out about that. But just want you to know to look for that document because that's kind of the handbook that we use when working with students. Speaking of the dress code, Modesto City Schools has a dress code and that we do enforce here at Gregori High School. And we also have a site-specific dress code that our safety team updates on a yearly basis. And again, that's in the conduct code. More information will be present, and here's kind of a snapshot to show of what is and is not tolerated at Gregori High School. We do have a safety hotline, and the purpose of this is for students to send information to administration should they know something and not want to be reporting in an office. So your students or you can text this number here, 209-215-2397. You can send a text, you can send a photo, whatever it is, and that'll inform administration of something that you may be aware of that you think the school needs to know to help keep our campus safe. Safety is the number 1 priority for our students, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure your students are safe on a daily basis. If your student does not feel safe and doesn't feel comfortable coming to talk to somebody, please use this safety hotline, or if they want to stay anonymous, this is a great resource as well. Lunch, ID cards, and lockers. So we do have one lunch at Gregori High. Every student on campus has lunch at the same time. Your student will need to carry their ID card to get lunch, to get books. So please make sure your students have that. And it must be on their persons at all times. So please make sure that that's being carried. Every student on campus is eligible for a free lunch this year at Gregori. As they're going to get their free lunch, they need to know their student ID number. That's what's required to get their lunch. So please make sure that your students are taking advantage of the free meal and that they know their ID to access that. Lockers and books. So we do have 2 lockers. Each student's going to have 2 lockers. You're going to have a locker in the main buildings for your textbooks and computer, things like that. Then you're going to have a PE locker in the locker room. So that's specifically for as you're dressing out for PE. Please utilize these lockers. A lot of times students carry a lot of things and they misplace things. Please utilize the lockers in the main buildings to help keep your stuff safe. Traffic and parking. This is a big deal before and after school. So please, if you're driving or you're driving your student to campus, please arrive 20 minutes before school starts, 25 minutes before school starts. Kind of get to know the flow of traffic. As the year goes on and as more students are receiving their license, traffic picks up more and more. And we want to make sure your students are here early and on time. We do have an access road behind the school. It's a one-way road, and that is for staff only. So please make sure that you're only staying in the front of the school as you drop your students off. If your student is taking a bus, please make sure you know your bus route number the first day of school. If you're not sure what that bus route number is, this is our transportation phone number from Modesto City Schools, 574-1621. They'll help support you and let them know your address, and they'll help make sure that you get on the right bus for the first day of school. While you're on the bus, masks must be worn at all times. Students are expected to follow the behaviors in the conduct code just like they would at the school site. Visitors and check-in, student pickup. Like I said, we really welcome parents to come help support, get involved. If you're coming to check in, all visitors need to check into the main office, which is the A building. The main gates are open. That's the first building as you walk in. We have a new system called the Raptor. And what that is you'll show up. You need to have your ID with you. You'll drop your ID into the Raptor. It'll go through a quick background check, make sure that there's no concerns, and that will conclude the check-in process, and you'll get a sticker with your name on it. Shows when you checked in, where you're going, to help us identify you. Please call ahead if you need anything, and deliveries. We do not allow any kind of DoorDash and things like that for students. So please pass that message along. Cell phones. This is an issue often on campus. Cell phones are allowed on campus. We know every student just about has one, and they're important and they're used for important reasons. So cell phones are definitely allowed on campus. Texting is allowed, but not in class. So please work with your students, make sure that they're responsible with their cell phones. We're not responsible for cell phones that are lost or stolen. Oftentimes students might leave them as they walk around at lunch and things like that. So we just want to really emphasize the fact that we keep those safe and put away during the school day. So tomorrow is CLAW, Classes, Locker, and Welcome. So your student's going to come onto campus and go through several stations. We encourage you to be prepared to purchase some items of PE clothes. If you want to get some JAG swag, JAG attire, ASB cards, spirit wear, all that good stuff is available to purchase during CLAW and tech insurance. Please make sure your students are dressed appropriately to follow the dress code, because they will be taking a photo for the yearbook and also the ID card. If your student's wearing something that is not going to pass the dress code, then they will have to put on a different shirt to take that picture, a Gregori outfit. If you have an incoming freshman, there will be a reading test, which will take about 20-25 minutes to give us a good baseline on your student's English ability to help serve them best in the classroom the first day of school. First day of school is Monday, August 9th. We do start promptly at 7:55. First day of school, please expect there to be a lot of traffic out front. Your student will come onto campus, they'll walk through the main gates, and they'll see several staff members lined up at tables handing out official schedules. So the first day of school, your student will come in, they'll get their official schedule, as well as a student planner, a Gregori student planner, their ID, a couple other things prior to their first class. So please arrive early and be prepared to pick those things up. It's a very big campus. We're here to help support your students navigate those first couple days. If you need support, or your parent or your student needs support, please have them reach out to any adult. We're here to help. All right, and a couple other things. Prior to CLAW, there are some forms that we're asking all families to complete. First is a household income verification form. This is information, it's confidential, but it is for us to help continue receive some funding and receive the free meals that we had discussed. And second is the emergency contact card. So we're asking that all families, new families, returning families, on a yearly basis, update this emergency contact card. The purpose of this is to have accurate information on file at all times. Should we need to contact you for an emergency or contact you for a concern with your student to help best support you. So please go in, new students, returning students, update what's called the LCFF, the Household Income Verification Form. It's linked here. It's also going to be linked below in the video notes. You can access that. You can also access that on our school website and our district website. And then really important, that emergency contact information. Please go ahead and update both of those forms for your student, preferably before CLAW. And that really wraps up kind of the basic information. And if anything came out from this PowerPoint, we hope that you ask us tomorrow at CLAW, or please reach out to the school site. Please give us a call. We're here to help you. We're looking forward to meeting your students. We're looking forward to meeting you. Please find ways to help get involved. And we just look forward to an outstanding year and to educating your students here at Gregori High School. Thank you. Go Jags.
Thank you, Mr. Fromm, for all that great information. As he stated, we really value the parent partnership we have here at Gregori High School. We look forward to partnering with you. In the description below of this video, you will see a link to that presentation in case you would like to reference it, as well as a link directly to our website that contains the CLAW information for your student. Thank you for watching this video. We look forward to seeing you on campus. Have a great day, and go Jags.